Coach, start off easy. Thoughts on the game?
Oh man, very much a Southland game, right? It was a little bit of a rock fight. I thought we showed real signs of fatigue in the first half. Obviously we didn't shoot very well. It just didn't feel like we had a lot of physical pop and energy, and I think that affected a lot of not only our decisions and things, discipline defensively, but our shot making as well. And credit to them, they're a really good, long, athletic, talented team that makes the game hard on you, and they're a well coached team as well. So credit to them also. But I thought we played a little bit tired, but I just have. I'm just very, very proud of our guys, of our players, for the grit and the resilience they showed. Not only turning the page after a super difficult, disappointing loss against Stephen F. Austin, to turn the page mentally and come back and fight and win a tough game, but also within the game. After the slow start, not only as a team but as individuals, we had some guys with some slow starts, and I had to get on some guys, but nobody sulked, nobody pouted, nobody blamed anybody else. They just dug in and did what it took to be successful, and I think that hopefully that's a big-time learning opportunity for our team.
All right, we'll open up, start with Ray.
Coach, for you to leave your second unit in during that second half for about a good 6 to 8 minute stretch, they came in with a bit of a deficit, but you kind of allowed them to get out of that deficit, equalize the game, and then take over and take an eventual lead. Just what did you see tonight from your second unit?
I'm glad you brought that up. I was really proud of them, man. There's some guys there that have that haven't been playing as well as they would hope right now at this stage of the season, and I think obviously there's some guys that would hope they're playing a little bit more and all those kinds of things, which is obviously common in college basketball at this stage of the season. But they all stepped in. Everybody made an impact. Dane was defending like crazy and competing on the glass. Jalen Ricks came in and hit a big time three and got a defensive rebound. Waze with that steal and got us in our offense and ran our stuff. I thought Zay was really effective defensively. Damaris Winters came in the first half and was really impactful. So everybody to a man really contributed to this thing, and everybody to a man showed real grit, and it's one of those things where, like I said earlier, where it's like hopefully everybody takes something with that moving forward. Like, this can't be where that grit and resilience ends. This has to be part of our DNA moving forward.
And then the second question I wanted to follow up with that second unit, Marshall Destermo, he hit that big three to kind of like allow you guys to not ease off a little bit, but kind of give you that sense where you guys played with a lead the rest of the time. You guys were gonna do a lot of things defensively. Just what did you just see defensively at the end of their shift, which was like towards that 4-minute mark?
Well, that's one of those things where I was proud of these individuals, and this is a backhanded compliment, but I was really getting on Phillip and Quo about their defense and some of their rebounding. I thought Marshall came in with his size and physicality and, frankly, his freshness. Right, I thought he came in with a little bit of pop. And he was able to really compete and keep things neutral on the glass, keep things neutral with his post defense, got that one steal on the post entry pass. And this is a guy that hasn't played in a couple games, so just really proud of his ability to step in and do the job.
Coach, you said you guys started off tired. Where did the aggression come from in that second half?
I think it was really just a lot of mental toughness. I think guys just kind of dug deep and just did what it took to be successful, right? Like, we talk about the Nick Saban quote quite often where, when it comes to being successful, there's not a lot of choices. It takes what it takes. And I think our guys did just that. Like, sometimes it's an ugly possession. Sometimes it's getting on the floor. Sometimes it's finishing through contact. Sometimes it's making multiple efforts defensively, or it's all those things. And I think our guys just recognize what it took to be successful on each individual possession and then to ultimately close the game out, and they did a great job of doing that.
And Philip, are you Filip Brankovic or Nikola Jokic with how close you were today?
Filip Brankovic.
What worked so well for you today?
I don't know. I just I was missing on the start of the game, and then I know I can make it, and then I just keep. I trust in my shot, and that was all.
How fun was this one with your teammates?
But this is best one. That's always is best one. So yeah, I mean, for the win is always nice.
I think Phil, he's always humble, but just to make the point further, he's a great example of somebody that showed grit and toughness and resilience and just the ability to kind of fight through a slow start, fight through some fatigue, fight through me yelling at him, fight through some frustration and turn that into fight. remain confident, remain forceful, obviously finish the game on a real high note. But you're talking about somebody that had 19 points, 50% from the field, 3 big threes, all in this, probably 2 in the second half, right? 2 assists, 0 turnovers, really just fighting through the things that were hard, fighting through a little bit of personal adversity and doing what it took to be successful. So, hopefully Philip, as much as anybody, can take some learning lessons from this about just doing hard things. All the beautiful things happen on the other side of hard, and I thought he was a great example of that tonight.
There was a 1 possession difference in the last minute of this game. What were you telling your team in the final timeout?
Oh, I don't remember. Did we have the ball? The timeout where we were inbounding at full court? Is just to do the job, right? To just 1 possession at a time, win this possession. Don't play the score necessarily. Don't play the time necessarily. Obviously, we're playing time and score in the sense of end game scenarios, but like, don't get overwhelmed by the moment. Just do your job. If you're supposed to set a great screen and roll back to the basketball, do so and win the catch. If you're supposed to deliver a great pass on time, on target, do so, and just do your job and play with discipline. And I thought our guys did it perfectly. He executed his role, everybody to a man. Julian came in late. He was the 4th option, came in late, won the catch, got fouled, knocked them both down. Another guy that I was yelling at earlier that didn't start the game very well offensively or defensively, and came in, just showed a ton of toughness as he does every time, and did what it took to be successful.
Coach, last one on my end. The crowd tonight, it just seemed to have played a factor. Nearly 75% capacity full. Just how much did that help you get your guys through the finish line tonight?
I thought it was great. That's the first defense chant I've heard in 2 years here. That was awesome. I mean, there's been times in the past where I'm yelling at people and I want a defense chant and the announcer's saying defense and it's just not being echoed. I thought tonight was great, and I was really, really proud of our fans. I think hopefully they take something from that. Like, you can be impactful as well. You can really contribute to wins and be a force on this thing and be a part of the whole deal.
With the final standings kind of settling in, what's the message going forward as you guys are closing out conference play?
Yeah, I understand your question, and I understand it's towards the business end of the season, and I get that, but I'm really not even looking at standings. I'm really not looking anything past preparing for Southeastern Louisiana. You know what I mean? There's nothing that we can do beyond that. Whether we're 3rd, whether we're 2nd, whether we're 7th, it's not like we're going to try to win the game harder. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, we really have to do the job as far as winning every step of the process. Philip is 100% sick of me saying that, and I get it. But we have to win the process. He has to go home tonight. His teammates have to go home tonight, get rest, get hydration, get recovery, come back tomorrow, take time off, do all the rest, do all the hydration, do all the recovery, and then we're going to really dive into Sealer the next day and go from there. So your question is valid. I get it, man, but we're really focused 1 step at a time.
Philip, you're really stoic on the court most of the time. After hitting that big shot, I saw Corey go up, you guys did a chest bump, and the whole team kind of ran out there. What was going through your head in that moment?
Yeah, I was happy because I finally made 3-point shot, and then, yeah, that was all.
And then, Coach, kind of harping on Jada's point, you guys did clinch a spot with between the games, Saturday and Monday. How does it feel knowing you're going to be in March playing for a spot?
I think that's great. I think that's terrific. Unfortunately, we didn't put ourselves in a position to do that last season. That's obviously 100% on me. That's my job to get us to that position. I didn't do a good enough job of that this year. Fortunately, this year we just have we had really good players last year. And we got really good players this year that are making up for my deficiencies, and for us to get to that position is terrific. And hopefully it gives our guys something to fight for and something to continue to strive for. But really, similar to Jada's question, it's just that'll come when it comes, right? Like, we'll attack that, we'll jump off that bridge when we get to it, but right now it's just the preparation battle and winning the process.
Coach, solid crowds this weekend. What were your thoughts on the energy today?
I thought it was terrific. Yeah, I mean, to his point earlier, I think when the fans can be involved and take some ownership in their role of really contributing to the atmosphere, it's awesome, man. It's a low ceiling facility. It's tight walls. It can really be a terrific home court environment. I love the atrium. I love that whole vibe and that whole scene. And I think it's becoming a fun game day atmosphere. And I hope people just latch on to that for our last 2 home games.